Okay, we bring back now head coach Javier Sid, and we're going to continue on the preview for 2010 because this is going to be a very, very important season. And Coach, I just want to go over the program accomplishments and what you're trying to achieve with the Roosevelt Rough Rider program in your 5th year.
Yeah, just listening to these guys talk right now is really what it's all about. I'm really proud of the kids that we have. You know, they come in, a lot of them as 9th graders, and you know, they're really looking for direction. They're looking for something to do.
Mm-hmm.
So we invite them to be part of our program and be part of. And when I say program, it's not team.
Mm-hmm.
A team, just a group of people that play games. What we do a program because it extends beyond the field, and it goes into the classroom, and it goes into the community, and it goes into their families.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're trying to accomplish is for them to be, you know, successful and productive beyond just the field. And you know, I was so proud to hear them, you know, articulate some of the things that we tell them constantly. You know, when they bring up the academics and all that, that's kind of what we preach all the time. So it's nice to hear that you know, we're getting through. And like I can tell you that a lot of the kids you just saw right now will be in college next year.
Oh, yeah.
And that's really where the winning for us. You know, it's not just what happens on a Friday night; it's what happens to them beyond the season and beyond graduation.
Yes.
So that's really what brings me a lot of pleasure to see young men move on and succeed.
Yes.
And then hopefully, you know, we hope that, you know, when he says he wants to be a doctor, we hope that he wants to, you know, come back and be a doctor in the neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
And come back and support the neighborhood that helped him.
Yes. Well, as I say, the goals, the wishes, the dreams, they can all come true. They can all
Absolutely.
fulfill.
I think, you know, I'm part of that. There's several people there. I mean, you can name a lot of people that are working in this neighborhood, like yourself, like, you know, Eric Sarney, that grew up in the neighborhood and are giving back.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
And that's there you go, Coach. The caring, the sharing, and the loving for the community. But Coach, let's get back. We got to continue on now because that clock is moving quickly.
That's right.
But we want to go ahead and
Whatever you would ask me.
compress the nuts and bolts of the season now because schedule is critical. There's pros and cons in each schedule.
Yeah.
Walk us through.
Yeah, one of the things that we're trying to do with our season and our preseason is play neighborhood games.
Okay.
You know, we're playing. We're going to scrimmage St. Paul, which is what we call a neighborhood game because a lot of people that grew up in the Boyle Heights, East L area now have kids or live in the Whittier, Santa Fe Springs area. Same thing the following week with Whittier. You know, with Alhambra, and there's so many connections between Boyle Heights and Alhambra. It's a natural place where people gravitate after they move out of the neighborhood when they choose to do that. And then Wilson's been one of our big rivalry. You know, people all talk about Roosevelt and Garfield, but for us, we consider Wilson one of their biggest rivals.
Yeah.
And Coach Martinez over there and I have been able to. We grew up with that tradition. So now that, you know, we're both head coaches and you know, at our respected schools, we talked about continuing this tradition. So we definitely play with them. And then for the last couple of years, we've been playing Whittier High School.
Okay.
Which brings a lot of
games.
This is all preseason here.
Non-conference games.
Yeah, non-conference games. So that's, to us, being able to play teams like in the Whittier area, it's big for us because so many people have connections to both schools.
Okay. And then, of course, the Eastern Conference, which is
the Eastern League. This year, we're also playing Franklin, which is a team that knocked us off out of the playoffs 2 years ago.
That's right.
We played them, and then whoever won that game had an opportunity to go to the championship against Arleta.
Yeah.
They were fortunate enough to beat us.
Yes.
And now it's something that we always want to get back and play them. That's a big rivalry, too. If anybody knows the East Side, they know how strong Franklin's been. Yeah. And we definitely want to get another shot at them.
Okay.
But then we go into the Eastern League, like you said.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. And then, well, the one game that shines more brightly upon any other game, as we said, was a classic.
Yeah,
that's the
for
season
us.
within the season, you know. It's the USC, UCLA, it's the SC Notre Dame.
We know everybody looks forward to that game, but for us, we live week by week. Yeah. We feel we have life for 1 week at a time, and we focus on whatever opponent we have that Friday. And then after we finish that game, then we're able to move on to to the other games. But I understand. I get asked all the time
Yeah.
about the Classic, and people ask me like, who's gonna win? And like, what am I gonna say to that? Right? Of course.
Of course.
Of course
You're
we
leading-
are,
you're
but
leading the team onto the field.
yeah, but we try to focus on one team at a time, and tradition always says that the East LA Classic is always towards the end of the season.
And
So,
the bonus this year again is televised by Channel 58 and 36.
and LA 36, we just got word of that. We're very fortunate to that all the people that are part of this game have kept it the way it is, and it's really the community, the teachers, the everybody in the community, and we do our part. My part is to coach the team, and our kids' part is to play in the game, but without all the other people that are involved, from our administration to theirs, and everybody in the whole community, and all the alumni and all the support we get from the media, that becomes a great event.
Well, we are going to do our best to ask for a credential to do play-by-play and put it up on
Oh
the
yeah,
web,
we
on
look
the
forward
internet.
to
That's
that'd
what
be
we wanna do,
great.
Coach, so we may be counting on your good graces to
Sure,
help us do that.
I'll do whatever I can
Okay.
to help you guys out.
Thank you, Coach. And let's go back now to a couple of more details that are very important: roster size and roster strength.
Yeah, we one of the things that we have right now is we have a lot of kids that one of our goals is to have kids play 3-year varsity.
Okay.
So when we get them in as 9th graders, we say, hey, we're going to spend 1 year at the lower level, which we call the JV now. So we have a lot of kids right now that are new to our program,
Okay.
that are just sophomores. But we have it's actually a mix. We have a mixture of kids that are. There's not one grade that dominates. So,
Okay.
but we did graduate a lot of kids last year from a really good team. But what it does, it gives opportunity to new kids to come in.
Okay.
So a lot of these guys are we don't have that one guy or that. It's basically it's going to be like running back by committee.
Yeah, by committee. then.
And our defense is going to be like those defense, like a no-name defense type group, where it's not one guy, but them working together as a group.
Okay.
Which is, I'd rather have that than have one guy that shines over everybody else,
Okay.
and I prefer to have a group of guys working together.
Okay, Coach. Also, it wouldn't be a season without injuries. We know that that's just part of the game. But injury
We're very
factors-
fortunate. One of the things that we do is we've been able to do a lot of preventive stuff.
Okay.
The program that we have instilled with Coach Robledo in the weight room and Coach Cepeda have put together a program that we kind of borrowed from different schools like Nebraska, a little bit of UCLA and a little bit of USC.
Okay.
So we've been able to put a weight room program together that starts in January that's been able to increase our strength and our explosiveness.
Okay.
But the number one thing that we stress in the weight room is to prevent injuries. And we've been very fortunate not to have injuries.
Okay.
We had one kid that got hurt last year, which is one of our starters, but he had surgery on his knee, Rene Garcia, and he's going to be back stronger than ever.
Okay. Good.
So
full recovery.
full recovery.
Beautiful.
He's already feeling, because of all the physical therapy that he's receiving, we feel his knees are going to be even stronger than when they were in the past.
Coach, another thing on my list
Yeah.
here that's very important is your recent alumni players who've signed and gone on to, whether it's the East LA College,
Yeah.
like we mentioned earlier, or some D1, D2, D3,
Yeah.
or even NAIA.
Right. You did meet Rafael Ortega.
Yes.
He's actually a bounce back from University of Minnesota.
Okay.
One of the reasons he wanted to come back is he felt that he could probably play at a higher level. He went in there as a Division II school, started as a true freshman, and he just felt that he wasn't being challenged enough.
Okay.
And he's a terrific player. I mean, he's a middle linebacker, just like some of the great backers we've had in the neighborhood, like Jeremy Aguilar and even David Lopez from and I know that Garfield has a great linebacker core right now, so he's one of those guys, and very tough. So he wanted to come back to the neighborhood.
Okay.
Play, and there was no other place he wanted to play other than East LA College. So he hopes to spend a year there, and then hopefully we'll see him at a bigger school. We have Jeremy Aguilar, who's going to be at University of Texas A&M Kingsley, I believe. I hope I said that right.
Yeah.
Kingsville, there you
okay.
go, which is one of the top programs
Yes.
in Division II
Yes.
in the nation. We have a couple other, our biggest success though has been kids in college, not necessarily playing football, but we have a kid that's going to graduate from UCLA next year in Freddie Ramirez.
Okay.
Who's our MVP, also made All City for us. So, and one of the things that I can tell you is that we've been able to get more guys into college in the last 5 years than, I don't know, maybe in a long time. So
Okay.
that's one of the things we're really proud of. But Roosevelt has had a lot of guys who've played and gone on to a lot of things. I know, from looking at our website, I was looking at some guy, Norman Waters. I know he's at, I believe, Old Dominion somewhere, and being able to see guys, Jose Hernandez, who I believe is graduating from UCLA, and a couple other guys that I didn't get an opportunity to coach, but a lot of those guys are doing really well and either have graduated and in careers, or they're still in school as well.
Yes. And even at the semi-pro level, we'll give a shout out to the alumni, Bobby Barales.
Oh, Bobby Barales,
For
I
the
think
Inglewood
one of the best linemen we've ever had at Roosevelt. He was tough, and he's still playing ball. He's
Inglewood Blackhawks.
we've been able to follow him
Good.
along, and maybe hopefully he'll get into coaching someday after he's done playing. But one of the things that I emphasize, if you can play, and then think about coaching when you're done with that.